everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is another video and it's quite different from all the other videos that I've done in this channel because this will be just me sharing my testimony to you guys. So basically it's our Holy Week special in church. We were challenged by the church to post our testimony on our Facebook page or Facebook profiles, but then my story is I wasn't able to put into words the entire story of how the Lord is so alive in my life. And then I had this idea that I'd rather just record myself telling that story, and so here I am right now. Hello everybody, my name is Rhythm and I'm 22 years old, turning 23 in December. I'm the third daughter of two pastors of a church here in Marikina. And yes, I was born and raised in a Christian family. I've always known, or I've always had the idea of who Jesus is. Since I was born, since I was an infant, a child, I already knew who God is, who Jesus is, because we sang that every day. We sang songs about Him every Sunday, and my mom would tell me stories about Him every day, and I was surrounded with people who knew Him. So, basically, wala ako nung mga testimony na from no knowledge to actually knowing who Jesus is. And that's what I thought. That's honestly what I thought. Yeah, but people expect that because I was a Christian, because I was born and raised in a Christian family, I had a perfect life. I lived a perfect life. I remember having dinner or lunch with these new people that I met. And then, so I told them my story and they got to know who I am. And then, one common comment that they had about me was that they said, hindi ko akalain na may ganyan pala kayong kwento. Akala daw nila that because we are pastors' kids, we are pastors' children, akala nila tama lahat ng desisyon namin sa buhay. And that is so wrong. I am the proof of that. Growing up, I was a mess. I was really a mess, and my family can attest to that. I was called the black sheep of the family by a lot of people because of my ugali, and I was called the disgrace sa aming pamilya. I remember one of my high school teachers called me that, and I was called a lot of things by different people, and I listened to that. And feeling ko, dahil yun yung truth yun yung sinasabi sa akin ng maraming tao, it became my truth. And so growing up, I was really a mess. Pinanindigan ko ang pagiging black sheep at pagiging disgrace sa aking family. When I was in grade school, Christianity was just a concept na Christianity was like a medal to me na parang, okay, Christian ako, so dapat nag-worship lead ako pag may chapel service kami, or kapag Christian emphasis sa amin, dapat bida-bida ako and stuff like that. It was a medal instead of a relationship. And I didn't know that. Kaya every time na nagpapatanggap yung pastor namin sa chapel service, sobrang gusto ko magpapansin. Magtataas ako ng kamay to accept Jesus. Iiyak ako every time na may altar call. Mga ganong bagay. I didn't fully understand what it is to be a Christian. And so when I was in high school, and it wasn't a Christian school, it was a semi-public, semi-private school. It was my first time to get exposed to the real world, and boy was I hooked. I enjoyed it a lot. I was a mess. I cursed a lot. I didn't study well. I cheated a lot. My mom was even called to the principal office for 4 consecutive years because I did something wrong. Because I did something na talagang hindi tama, that needed to call my mom's attention. And I was a total wreck. My name was talked about by a lot of people because I did bad things. And I didn't have constant friends because I would often be in bad terms with everybody because I was a mess. I was a wreck. I wouldn't even, kung ako mismo mamimit ko yung Rhythm in high school, I would not even befriend her. She was a wreck. I wanted to belong so much. I wanted to belong because I grew up insecure. I grew up with the knowledge or with the truth in mind that I'm not ugly, that I'm not likable, na walang magmamahal sa akin and stuff like that. And so, I did things that are not good just so I would feel like I belonged. Like I stole money just so I could treat my friends out. I would tell lies just so people can accept me, even though sobrang layo na from the truth. And every time people would ask me now, like, what's one thing that you regret the most? I would always say that it has to be my high school life. I regretted that so much, and then I was in a very bad place that time. When I was in my senior year, I had a tug in my heart, a very very strong tug, as if it's asking me na, oh ano na, girl, magka-college ka na. You're going to college, to the university, to a bigger world. And you're still stuck there in that situation. But I didn't listen. I didn't mind it. I still did the things that displeased God because that's where yun na yun eh, naging komportable na ako sa ganung posisyon. Come January 2014, the last 3 months of my high school life, I was so excited. I was so excited to graduate because to me it's an escape from the mess that I am. God didn't want me to finish high school without me learning something. And so, January 2014, that was the lowest point of my life. I had no friends. My grades were not good. Oh yeah, there were issues about me. People were talking about me behind my back. I was betrayed by a lot of people. I was called a disgrace to the family. I put his name to shame noong mga panahon na yun. And I had no one to run to because even my family, I was so ashamed to reach out to them because they've been putting me back to pieces every time that I fell, every time that I made a mess. I decided to leave home. I decided to leave home January 2014 because I thought that was the safest thing to do, just to escape from all the disappointments. Because I didn't want to bring disappointment to my family anymore, and I didn't want to show up to school anymore. I went away, but not too far. But when I went away, I knew deep in my heart that the word that the Lord planted in my heart when I was a child, by my parents, by my Sunday school teachers, and by the people that has surrounded me when I was younger, and all the chapel sermons that I heard, I know that yun yung seed na ginamit ni God to speak to me that time. I was alone in a restaurant and I was crying to God. I was asking talaga, Lord, why am I in this position? Why did you place me here of all people? I thought you loved me. I even, dumating ako sa ganong point na, Lord, akala ko, mahal mo ako, bakit ako nandito? I felt alone. I felt unloved. I felt ugly. And nothing was going right. Parang ginawa ko naman lahat. Binigay ko lahat ng gusto ng mga tao just so I could fit in. But at the end of the day, I was still alone. I was still lonely. I was still sad. And so I surrendered it at the feet of Jesus. Sabi ko talaga, Lord, I'm done. Ayoko na. I give up. Take over. And then, I was just crying so hard. But the Lord just gave me one word. It's the word. The Lord just gave me this word, come. And I was reminded of this song, come to the river of life. Come and drink freely here. Come if your heart is blah blah. Come if your soul is thirsty. Draw near and drink of the mercy of Jesus Christ at the river of life. And I would always cry to that song. And when the Lord revealed that word to me, I have never felt His love to be that great. Na yung kinikwento lang sa akin when I was a child, yung kinikwento lang nila na Jesus sa akin, hindi ko in-expect na ganun pala kagrabe yung pagmamahal niya for me. I had to go through a lot of things. I had to go through those terrible times for me to understand that this was the God my parents were talking about. This was the God that my Sunday school teachers were teaching me. And that day, I experienced the agape, the unconditional love of God, and my life has never been the same. Until now, it's been what? It's been 4 years. And now I'm leading my own care circle, and they have their own disciples na rin. I remember that same year, 2014, I was given the role to lead the youth, and I was so confused as to why me. I'm literally a mess. I myself am a youth who needed help. But I said yes. Sabi ko, Lord, ikaw bahala. Because I said yes. Because what God told me was that now that you've experienced my love, don't let them go through the tough time for them to know that I love them. And it has been my drive all this time until now na Lord, yes, I will minister to others even though ako mismo I'm not deserving. I'm not worthy to even talk to people, but because of His grace, because of His amazing grace and His fountain of joy and His river of peace, I get to share this testimony to you guys. And yun, simula 2014 until now, I'm leading the youth. Uh, I've learned a lot of things. Now I'm handling the care ministry in our church. I've made disciples who make disciples as well. And it is all because of His grace. And whenever I look back and see myself, the rhythm that I was 6 years ago, how much of a mess she was. And to see how the Lord just keeps on pulling me back to Him. I get reminded of the parable of the lost son. Yung when the son left with all his inheritance, he took all his inheritance from his father and went out and enjoyed the world, enjoyed all the pleasures of life dito sa mundo. He was so afraid when he became a mess. He was so afraid to come back home because he thought that his father would have gotten mad. His father might not accept him anymore. But he was surprised to see that when he got home, his father was waiting for him with arms wide open, rushing to him, rushing to embrace him. Nagpahanda pa ng pagkain, ng mga damit. And that is how it was with me as well. I was so afraid to come to the Lord because I know that I have displeased Him many times. He is abounding in love, that He was able to forgive me and to love me fully, na kinaya niyang burahin at kalimutan lahat ng ginawa ko in the past. Even I myself could not forgive what I did. It took me a long time before I actually released myself from that baggage. But because of the grace and the love of God, I get to minister to others and just encounter God every day. And I'm amazed. I am amazed as to see just how good God is. And that is how I know that Jesus is alive, because until now, I make mistakes. Until now, may mga bagay akong mga hindi nagagawa. Marami akong pagkukulang sa Kanya. May mga nagagawa ako na hindi niya kinasasaya or hindi niya kinalulugod. But He keeps on pulling me back home. Parang isang tatay na pipilitin ka talaga na dito ka lang. And that is how Jesus is alive in my life. And I know that He loves you. He loves you just as much as He loves me, and that is so much. Alam ko that you have heard that and seen that on Facebook many times. Maraming mga posts about Jesus loves you, and people will always tell you that Jesus loves you. But it's not just a quote. It's not just a saying. It's not just something na lumalabas lang sa bibig ng mga tao. It is the truth that you need to understand, and you need to accept that Jesus loves you as you are. You don't need to fix yourself bago ka lumapit sa Panginoon. Let Jesus do that to you. Let His love fix you. His love can break the chains of our lives, and He wants to love you fully. He wants to love you, and He wants you to experience a victorious life, because that's the life that He wants you to have. He wants you to live a life that is victorious. He never meant for you to live a life of failure, of disappointment, na pagiging talunan. Hindi mo kailangan maging ganon. You are meant to live a life of victory, and that is only found, at yun ay makukuha mo lang sa Panginoon. And I'm posting this on an Easter Sunday because Jesus is so alive. Jesus is so alive. The fact that I'm able to share this testimony to you is a proof, is an evidence that my Jesus is alive. And He is true to His word. He is true to His word. He wants you to experience a victorious life because He has already won the victory, and He wants you to experience that as well. So God bless you guys, and thank you for listening to my life testimony. To God be the glory.